welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie and I'm the mom to these arrows. Our arrows are 10, 6, and 4, so we have 5th grade, 1st grade, and kindergarten this year. Oh, these are fun years. I love this. Hopefully I can say that all the way through, but I'm loving it so far. So today I want to actually dive in and share with you what our plan is for the year. And that's going to include our word of the year, our verse of the year, and my teaching style. I'm sure there's some question about that. I questioned it all year last year. So let's clear some things up and just dive in and show you and share with you what that's all about. First off though, if you are new here, welcome. I'm glad you're here. We are a homeschooling, we are a blended family, and praying within the next year that if we complete our goals, we will be a homesteading family. But as of right now, the majority that you're going to see on my channel is homeschooling. So make sure if you enjoy what you're seeing, you're subscribed so that you put the bell so that you know when I upload. And the goal is every Tuesday and Thursday I'll be uploading. So hit that bell so you get those notifications, and give me a thumbs up if you like, and give me a share. First and foremost, let's just dive into my teaching style. I started last year just Charlotte Mason. Like, that was just what I did, but mainly that was because the curriculum I chose was a Charlotte Mason based curriculum. We used my father's world, and that's just what they said to do. So that's what we did. I didn't realize the different types of homeschooling then, nor did I realize that you could do more than one. So with that being said, my actual homeschool, I have a hair on my arm. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. My homeschooling style is eclectic. Now, eclectic, I didn't realize was a thing. I actually had to look up, type in okay, what are the homeschool styles, so I can find what mine is to have a name for it, because I knew where I was. I was kind of just smack dab in the middle of Charlotte Mason and unschooling. I like Charlotte Mason, but I like the thought of unschooling, but I'm so much of a teacher, public teacher at heart, have always been. That's what I always thought I'd do, that I liked Charlotte Mason, but I also liked traditional homeschooling, so I'm all over the place, okay? So that's why eclectic actually works well for our homeschooling, because to kind of read what it is, it's just doing what is best for each child, and you are allowed to change and do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And it's just kind of a mixture of all of them. And that's what I love. I love the fact that I can do all of it or none of it, piece of it, change in the middle, and whatever. So I enjoy learning how each of my children are learning for this particular subject, and then going in that route. I enjoy child-led learning. So if one child is learning better with play, or learns better sitting outside, or learns better standing up, or learns better hands-on, I want to change my teaching style for that child to make sure that they're getting what they need. And so eclectic style works best for me. Now, when it comes to our word of the year, our family word of the year, and our family verse of the year, it's not just for homeschooling. It's going to be for the entire 2021, the rest of it for the 2022 year. So it's going to go for the school year. We school year round. Our first day was August the 2nd, and we're going to school until we're done, whenever that may be. Don't have an end date in sight. Love that. But anyways, we had our word of the year picked out before the verse of the year, and it's crazy how good God is and how well they go together, and how much I need them both. It's not just for my children, it is for our entire family, and I love that. I love that what has been chosen works so well for these two. So we'll start with the word of the year for us. So our word of the year this year is going to be obedience. And I know you're just like, you just want your kids to obey more. Well, yeah, of course I want my children to obey, but it's not just for my children. I need to be more obedient, not to men, like mankind, but to God. I need to obey quicker and more enthusiastically and easier than I have previously to things that God has called me to do or that He's asking me to do. I need to be more obedient. My heart needs that work. And so part of my goal this year is to teach by leading by example. And I can't teach them to be obedient if I'm not being obedient myself. So it's a great word for us this year, and I'm so beyond excited about it. But I'm even more excited that the verse, I had a list of like 5-6 verses that we were choosing from that I loved for this year. But after reading the verses again, after choosing our word, this one just was like, you know what? They go like this, like they go hand in hand, and they're perfect. And I'm gonna try not to just go off on this tangent and take you to church right now, but for our family, it's amazing. For me, it's amazing. I can speak for myself on this one. This verse is where I need it. It's where I need to be, and it goes so well with our word. But I have, let me show you this Bible. I have this beautiful purple Bible that I got from my mother-in-law for Christmas a couple years ago. But it is an HCSB study Bible, which is a Holman Christian study Bible. This Bible was the first time I've seen this version. And so I'm going to read you this version, and then I'm also going to read you the New Living Translation version, because I do love both. There is one word, and I've already said it, in the HSBC, is that right? HSBC version that I love so much. I just love it, and I want that word, but I also love how the New Living Translation has it as well. But the verse is Colossians 3:23 and 24. All right, so let me read this to you again in the HSBC version first. Whatever you do, do it enthusiastically. Woo, like bold print, underline. Yes, do it enthusiastically as something done for the Lord and not for men, knowing that you will receive the reward of an inheritance from the Lord. You serve the Lord Christ. Now, the New Living Translation version says, work willingly, I like that one too, at whatever you do, as though you were working for the Lord rather than for people. Remember that the Lord will give you an inheritance as your reward, and that the master you serve is Christ. So I love the wording in both of these. I love it so much, because here's the thing. I don't want my children to just blindly obey. I want them to obey, number one, knowing that it is something that God has asked that we do. The commandment is to obey your mother and father. But it also is to obey Him, and learning to obey our mother and father trains us up to learn to obey Him as adults or as teenagers, because you start to do that once you gain that relationship with Him. But not only is it obeying a commandment of His, it's also learning to serve. And we are told that we are to serve our neighbor, and that is my child, that is my husband, that is my children. That is for them, their parents. And so by obeying blindly, that allows them to whine, complain, fuss, argue about what they're told to do. But by knowing that we're called to be obedient and we're called to be servants, this verse right here tells us to do it enthusiastically, to do it willingly, knowing that by doing so and by serving others, not only are you doing what God is telling you to do and being obedient in that matter, but you're setting yourself up for an inheritance. And in also doing that, the more you're obedient to God, the more you'll love, the more you'll have grace, the more you'll have patience, and the more crowded heaven is going to become to be, because you are willingly and enthusiastically obeying and serving an almighty God, and everyone else is seeing it and they want what you have. And oh my goodness, that's what I want, not only for my children, but for me. That's where I want to be. That's the relationship that I want to have. And I know that's the reason this verse was given to me, because I've been seeking this. I've been seeking it. And God's just like, you know what? Here you go. We're going to work on it. And like I said, I want to lead by example. I want my children to be able to say, my mama never said, do as I say, not as I do. I want them to be able to do as I do. I want to be on a good path so that they can follow behind me and then excel. I want that for my children. I don't want to do things that they wouldn't be allowed to do, because clearly that would mean I shouldn't be doing it either. I want them to have a servant's heart. I want them to willingly and enthusiastically obey the Lord's calling for them. I want them to be able to sit down and listen to what God has to say to them through however the Spirit's going to speak to them, through His Word, through songs, through actual talking to them, and know that they're going to obey and they're going to do it enthusiastically and willingly, knowing that it's what God has called them to do and that their reward will be greater than anything that men can give them. So that is where I'm at in our verse of the year and our word for the year. I feel like our family is going to soar this year because our year is going to focus more on our relationship with God and then follow into educating us on what we need to know in order to live on earth. But our main focus is God and how we can crowd heaven as much as possible. So hope you enjoyed it. I know it's kind of long for what I was doing and I went a little church on you, but I'm really fired up about this and I'm praying that it stays burning in my soul for the remaining of the year and that we grow with this. But yeah, that's all I've got. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give me a thumbs up, give me a share. And if you have a word of the year or a verse of the year, drop it below because I'd love to see what all you have. But that's it, y'all. Have a great day and we'll see you next time. Bye.